The following program is for adult audiences only.
Running on Empty with Mr. Windy.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You there?
I hear you loud and clear there, Mr. Sober Windy.
Yeah, you got that right, man, Gentry. Yeah, you sure do. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today, Gentry. I've had plenty of time. You know, I believe this will be the first time I've ever talked to you when I go shrimping. That's why I can quit drinking so easy, because when you go shrimping, you get to take a 12-pack with you. And then when it's gone, it's gone. You got 60 days to go, like sands through the hourglass, how fast you drink them. When they're gone, they're gone. And so, but then by the time I get in, you know, by the time I talk to you or get to wherever you are, as soon as we throw the lines and tie that boat up, we're getting us something to drink. So I don't believe I'll ever talk to you. This will be day number 11.
I've known you damn near 20 years. Never talked to you sober, at least not on the radio.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is the first time ever. And that's part of what's going to be fun about today. Is I was joking around on Facebook about, you know, that I was going to do a radio show, and I ain't ever done a radio show not fucked up on something.
Well, what about that joint you took a picture of and sent me on text message now? What about that?
I got to tell you about that, Gentry. You're not going to believe this shit. It's part of my story of quitting drinking, but I could get to it later. Don't forget that. It's in my list of stuff to talk about.
Oh, this is Sober Windy, so you're all prepared.
Right.
Wow, this is amazing.
I got 3 pages of stuff to talk about. 3 pages. And you can't make me mad today.
I don't know if I got that kind of time in 3 pages. I don't know if I have that kind of time.
I'll talk fast. If you shut the fuck up, Gentry, I'm trying not to cuss. I'm politely cussing now.
Well, why don't we start with the rock bottom? What caused you to stop drinking? It had to be a rock bottom, correct?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Gentry. I'll tell you what rock bottom is. This is divine intervention. If there are people out there that don't believe that somebody somewhere is running some kind of show that you have no control over, I'm going to give you a perfect example. This day that I quit is a Monday morning after the weekend. But now, you know, I've been drinking whiskey now straight for a year. 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd get up and start drinking whiskey and chase it with beer. I did it for a year, put me in the hospital not because of being too drunk, from being too dehydrated. And when you get real dehydrated, your blood pressure goes way down. Mine was 65/35 when I wound up in the hospital. That's being dehydrated, not being drunk, being dehydrated. So after that, they told me, you know, drink all that water I told you about. And I decided, well, I'm not doing all that. I'll just cut out the natty daddies. Well, guess what? That whiskey was still dehydrating me. And over time, it was making me more tired and more tired. So on this day, and I'm back to this day, typical day, 10 o'clock in the morning, I have run out of the whiskey that I bought yesterday. It usually lasts me a little more than a day, unless I buy a half gallon that lasts 3 days. So I've been buying these fifths. So I go to get a fifth one day, and halfway through the next day, I got to go get another one. So I'm walking down the trail that I walk down every day, and I get across the street from a neighbor who's Ted, the instigator. And I'm looking down at where I go, and all of a sudden, I can't hardly take another step. I am not kidding you. All energy is gone. Not another step. I feel like, man, I need to take a knee here. What's going on? And I turned around, and I said, I got to go back, because I can tell by looking how far I got to go. You know, it's about a mile. But it's clear field, you know, 2-track. I can see it where I'm going. I turn around, start walking back, and all of a sudden I feel fine again. And I get all the way back. It's about a football field. I get all the way down there, time to cross the road. I said, shit, I feel fine, man. What's wrong here? I'll go back there and get me a bottle of whiskey. I turned around, started going back, and I got the same distance, and it did the same thing. Exact same thing. This time, I was so tired, I did take a knee, and I sat there and watched a few cars go by. Well, I thought about what was going on here. I said, if I get up and I start walking back and I feel fine again, there's something going on. Somebody is trying to tell me something. So sure enough, I got up, start walking back, and I feel fine. I was like, man, I just made myself a deal right here. I don't know if I'm even going to try this a third time. So for the hell of it, I got down to where it's time to cross the road, and just for the hell of it, I turned around and looked at that store where I go down to get that whiskey from, and I felt the same way without even taking a fucking step. So I was like, that's it. That's it right there, man. Somebody's trying to tell me, you go to that store, this is going to be the one right here that'll kill you.
You think it was the hand of God that reached down and was touching you?
I'm sure of it. It's either him or somebody over there at the instigators, because I couldn't get past Ted Odell. I couldn't get past Ted Odell's driveway across the street next door to us, and all of a sudden I had to turn around. I was looking down his driveway and looking at the whiskey store, and I couldn't get no farther than that. So it's either Ted or God, one of them.
My God, that's an amazing story. So what was the feeling exactly? What did you feel that? Can you explain?
Like I didn't have any legs. Like swimming and treading water, like treading water in a swimming pool.
And you'd fall to the ground?
Yep, if I went another step. And I had a couple of them episodes with Paul, where he caught me he said I was out on my feet walking through his living room. First I almost hit the bar, then I almost hit the table, and then I turned around and something about I was going to give a potato to the bird, and he said, no, you're not. So he's watching me. He said, all of a sudden your eyes just roll up in your head, and you were going to crash into the pellet stove. And he caught me and laid me on the floor and checked my blood pressure. He said it was super low. Call the ambulance. They come there. Oh, shit, something wrong here. And yeah, I found out it was low blood pressure from being dehydrated. So what was that you were asking? Because I was telling you, I forgot.
What about cigarettes? Have you kicked those?
Well, this is what's going to get to Gentry. This is what's going to get to you. Were asking me about. I sent you that picture of that joint. Okay.
I smoked the marijuana.
On my way to where I get cigarettes from is also on the way to where I buy groceries. It's a grocery store called Family Fare, and then the Dollar General is next door to it. In that little plaza that the Family Fare is in is a little mom and pop marijuana shop. It's as small as a Subway. You know what I mean? There's like two people in there. They have the most incredible deals that you ever heard of in your life. On the 15th of every month, 15 pre-rolls, and they're big ones. That's why I sent you that picture. They're big ones. 15 pre-rolls for $15. And on the 30th, 30 pre-rolls for $30. And at any time throughout the day, you can get 1 ounce of weed, which is the trimmings of the buds. It's not the shake. It's the trimmings. So there's little chunks and all kinds of stuff in it. And it's damn good. $20 for an ounce of damn good weed. And if you get there in the morning, like I happened to the other morning, that $20 goes down to $15, and they give you a free pre-roll just for getting there early in the morning.
So did you smoke one before the show? Because you said this was going to be a sober show.
It is a sober show. I'm not drinking.
What, did you smoke any weed, though?
Smoke pot? Hey, wait a minute. And I want to tell you something. This place is called, where'd I write it down?
Smoke weed every day.
No, but I got to tell you something.
Smoke weed every day.
So you did smoke weed before the show?
Nature's Relief.
I smoked the marijuana.
L-E-A-F. Nature's Relief. L-E-A-F. Relief is what that place is called.
So how many joints did you get?
Listen, the reason I'm telling you is because you were asking me about smoking. I used to smoke a pack a day.
Of joints or cigarettes?
Today. Now I'm smoking because I only started smoking weed when I got on a shrimp boat. I only started smoking cigarettes when I got on a shrimp boat where you couldn't smoke weed, which was unheard of back then. I was 38 years old. I had never smoked a cigarette. I had to start smoking cigarettes to pretend they were weed, which drove the captain of the boat, who's from Honduras. He drove him fucking crazy, me calling a cigarette a joint, because he wanted me, why can't you just call it a cigarette? I said, because I don't like the sound of cigarette. I'm calling it a fucking joint.
So how many cigarettes are you smoking a day now?
Now, about 3/4 of a pack. I'm down to less than a pack. I got about 7 left over every night because I can swing into that place on my way to go get something from the grocery store, swing right in there. So now I'm back to smoking. Eventually, I'll get it to where I'm just, because smoking pot's illegal here, just like it is where you are.
Yeah, if I would have told you in 1982 that you'd be walking into a store and get 30 joints for $30, what would you have said?
I would have said you're back in, what did you say, 82?
Yeah, something like 82, early 80s.
Okay.
Isn't that when you about started smoking weed?
Hey, I'll tell you what we used to do back in the early 80s that would make you say something like that. That would be peyote buttons. I'd say you must have ate a couple of peyote buttons talking to me like that. If you ain't never done peyote, you don't want to do peyote. That's what them people out there, the Aztecs and all that.
What is peyote?
Aztec. Peyote is a cactus. It's a type of a cactus that is a severe hallucinogen. It's LSD times 10. And let me tell you what I did one time.
Did you ever do peyote?
Doing it. What?
Did you ever try it?
That's what I was trying to get to before you interrupted me.
Oh, well, go ahead.
The one time I tried it, I ate a peyote button. It's about as big around as a silver dollar. Only they got no thorns on it. It just tastes like cactus, kind of like a pickle with no vinegar. So I ate it. Well, I decided it wasn't doing enough to me like I saw it was doing to everybody else, so I ate another one. And then when that first one hit, and then the second one hit after that one, I'm telling you right now, Gentry, hey, I could close my eyes. I could close. First off, the room would start spinning in a circle, and I could see everything behind me clearly as it went around in a circle. And then if you close your eyes, it keeps right on doing it. And the last thing you look at, if it's a tree, then this is why my buddy Chuck Hodges, he'll remember, this is back in just after high school. He wrecked his truck 7 times. We'd be driving along, and all of a sudden he'd start hollering, and we'd go flying up the side of the road. That's because he looked off the road, and there's a palm tree. But when you look back on the road, the palm tree moves into the road. Now you got a tree in front of you. So you got to swerve to miss the tree, and off the road we go. That's doing peyote.
Now, how do you do it? You smoke it? You snort it? What's a peyote?
You eat it. It's cactus.
Whoa.
It's a cactus. It's a cactus. It's about the size of a Girl Scout Thin Mint. Twice as thick. No, an Oreo cookie. An Oreo cookie.
How did it taste?
Like a cactus. I just told you.
What does a cactus taste like? I never ate a cactus.
Okay, I told you before. It's like a pickle with no vinegar. Kind of like a pickle in water.
Did you think it was good tasting or no?
No, it's bland. It doesn't really taste like anything. Imagine a pickle in water. A cucumber soaked in water. Or not even a cucumber, because it tastes like a cucumber.
When it comes to you and cucumbers, I don't like thinking about that.
They did what?
Never mind. Let's move on to the next thing. So you stopped drinking and you've lost weight as well, right? You're like...
it's incredible.
Thin, Mr. Windy, like a thin mint.
Losing about 2 pounds a week, consistent. I'm back down to where I should be, 177 pounds. I was getting up close to 190.
And you ain't no 177 pounds, that fat-ass belly of yours.
That's gone. My fat-ass belly's gone.
You lying, man. You better put up a picture of that belly. I want to see it.
You son of a bitch, if I could do it right now, I will do it after this, I'll do it after this. I can't do it while I'm talking.
We'll have to make that the cover art for this episode. Just a picture of your belly.
Yeah, you do that, and you make sure you put a note. I want you to make sure, because I told them guys that our radio show, back in the 70s and stuff, the first radio show I ever did, WHOR, I was telling them guys about how nowadays, like the Joe Scott show we were on, and even up here with omelets on, how the host of the show, he calls the shots and stuff. I don't know who's beeping me. Somebody's trying to call me, man. That's bullshit. It's going to be annoying. Anyway, the host of the show calls the shots and stuff, but not on the show that I had back in the 70s at WHOR. The producer and his cousin Marty Rochester, they called the shots. And they told me what it was I was going to say and how I was going to say it and all this stuff. And I had to hurry up. We had to be in class in 5 minutes and stuff. But I was sitting there thinking about, and I was telling Michael Gibson, I told him if I didn't do what they said, I could expect to get my ass kicked out of school. And he got on there and he said, "Come on, dude. I was a dick back then. I've redeemed myself." And I was only joking, but that was really a true story that what happened back then. And I was thinking about it. I said, I ought to sit there and recite one of them things that Gibson, one of the things it was he told me that I was to say to this is a school radio show. It's a reel to reel. We were recording live, but it was recorded reel to reel. And I was like, I wonder if I could...
What town was this in?
It was just What?
What town was this radio station in?
Port Aransas, Texas. Port Aransas High School. We were the first graduating class in 1980 when there was no high school before us. Yeah.
And what was the programming on that station?
What do you mean?
Like throughout the day, what did they play?
Well, rock and roll. I'm gonna tell you what one of the things was that I was instructed to say if I can remember it, if you don't interrupt me.
Well, I'm waiting.
Okay. Here's what Gibson would tell me to say to our fellow students, something like this. All right, all you little space cadets, here's a little ditty that's sure to get your antenna hard. This is Bachman Turner Overdrive, and they're going to be taking care of a little business. That's what we would say. And then we'd play that song, Taking Care of Business by Bachman Turner Overdrive. That was one of the things that Gibson would have me. No, that's 70s talk, space cadets. And then they come out with movies called, what, Space Cowboy and Space this and Space... I think they might even have Space Cadets or Space something or other. Yeah, but we were calling them that back in the 70s, 77 and crap. But anyway, let's see what else we got here, gents. I got a bunch of stuff like I told you I wanted to talk.
You ready for the debate tonight? It's going to be a big debate.
I was getting to that. See, somehow you're getting ahead of me on everything. But first I wanted to say, what do you think of that pizza I sent you for your friend Shaq? He likes him. He puts pepperoni all the way to the edge of the crust.
Yeah, they call that a shakaroni.
The shakaroni. Okay, well, what do you think of that 300-pound shakaroni that I sent you?
That's pretty impressive. It was a nice big pie. The question is, what did it taste like? It's hard to taste it over a picture. Looked good.
It's a video and all that stuff. I understand that. I'm just saying, obviously, if it didn't taste good, if you was going to make one like that, you could take the time to make it good, season the crust, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Shaq's on the board for Papa John's.
They did what?
Shaq is on the board of directors, shareholders for Papa John's.
No kidding.
That's why he's got the shakaroni.
Right on. Yeah, perfect.
Do you remember the last CEO, the guy that got in trouble because I guess he got caught?
Yeah. What's his name? Yeah.
Yeah, Papa John. Yeah. They called him Papa John, and then
Yeah, John Schneider.
I don't know. I think that's the guy from Dukes of Hazzard. But
no.
Yes, it is. John Schneider. I think that's one of the Duke boys.
Yeah, but I think that's that guy's name for Papa John's too. It's something like that. Goddamn, look it up.
His name's John Shatner. John Hampton, Papa John Shatner.
Shatner. That's close to Schneider.
He founded Papa John's in 1984.
That's fine. That's all well and good.
Once he had that racial slur, corporate, they got rid of him. He was on some conference call and made a comment. And then they decided...
A lot of people on the mic and all that stuff. And you know what? I saw a thing on Facebook. It's pretty funny that about Hillary Clinton joking about how Bill Clinton I think it was Bill Clinton got away with paying off Paula Jones like $800,000, and he got...
We all knew that.
What?
I said we all knew that.
I know, but how come they went after Trump or what's her name? How come he can't get away with it?
Because the Democrats don't want him to win. That's why.
Right. Well, anyway, that's right. The only reason I'm bringing that up is because you started talking about Trump, and I have that amongst my notes. That's why you beat me to it. So he's going to take Rubio, right? Marco Rubio.
Is that who he picked? I don't think he officially did that yet.
No, but if you go to all the behind the scenes, all the bullshit, the people that know him and claim to know him and all that stuff, supposedly that's who he's picking because that will guarantee him Florida. And Florida has already cost Al Gore. Florida fucked over Al Gore. So as long as you get Florida, you have the potential to put the bucks to people because those people are hanging chads and too many old people, frog heads, and all that crap you guys got going on down there. You just never know what. And that could be enough to change it. And they're claiming this year is going to be extremely close. And some are saying Trump's going to win. Some are saying it's going to be really close. And, yep, so if he picks listen, people like Marco Rubio.
What about that Tim Scott? He's a black guy, and then you maybe get the black vote. You think that would work?
He's not even one of the three. If you've looked at that thing, there are three of them.
That's three that the media are talking about. He was Tim Scott was talked about at one point.
Listen, man, that's back when they were like 10 people running against Trump for the Republican nomination.
You talking about J.D. Vance? You talking about Doug Bergman?
There's 3 of them, right? And listen, you look at the other 2, they're older. They're in their 50s and 60s or whatever they may be. Marco Rubio, I think, is in his 30s. And if you look at what Trump says his decision is going to be based on, is someone who can lead the Republican Party into the future. Well, them other 2 guys are in their midterm or third term. Trump's in his 4th. I'm talking about age-wise. Rubio, he's still in his 1st. I don't even think he's 40 years old. No, he may be 40, but I don't think he's much older than 40. And so that's who.
I think he's 50-something. I'm going to look it up. I think he's 50-something.
Well, he might be, but it's a lot. No, I don't know if he's that old.
He's 53, born in 1971.
Okay, that's fine. He's older than you, right? Barely?
The same age. Well, no, yeah, he's older than me. I'm only in my 40s. I'm 45.
I'll be damned. All right, well, anyway. So, but them other 2, they're like in their 60s or 70s. They're not going to be somebody who's going to lead the Republican Party into the future. That's what the prerequisite is that Trump says out of the 3.
Well, who do you think he should pick?
I'm telling you should pick Rubio, the one he's going to pick. Everybody likes Marco Rubio, and you know why? If you listen to the things that Marco Rubio said about Donald Trump when they were, trying to get the nomination, he was worse. He was way worse than Perry was for the Texas governor. I can't even think of his first name. Rick Perry. Rick Perry. When Trump nominated Rick Perry to be the energy secretary, they said, "How could he possibly pick you after all the shit that you said about him?" And Rick Perry said, "He's a very forgiving man." Okay, fine. Well, he must be a very forgiving man with Rubio, too, if he picks Rubio, because when you look at the video of the stuff that Rubio said, holy shit, if Trump was in the room, it'd be a goddamn fist fight.
Well, it's tonight, I think, at 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on if you're in the East, Central. It's the debate is tonight on all the news networks starting at 8.
Well, I'm not going to be able to see it being on your...
How can you be a broadcaster if you can't see it?
Well, because...
you're sober now. You got to tighten up, Buttercup.
My link to the outside world is my cell phone, wherever I can find on my cell phone. Over there watching TV and stuff, that's one thing that they're not a fan of, is watching the news, like especially that kind of news.
What do they want to watch?
I don't know what they watch. They got whatever they watch over there.
They watch cartoons over there?
No, they don't watch cartoons. They watch I know on Sundays, they like to watch the fishing shows, and I know on the one days they like to watch, certain game shows. I know sometimes they like to watch certain like crime shows. Any
soft core?
Huh?
You ever walked in and there's some soft core on the TV?
They don't. I don't know, gent. You don't start no stupid shit, or whoever's talking. Don't start any fucking stupid shit. I ain't all fucked up. I can hear. You say something.
You're hearing me very clearly now.
I hear you very clear. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I'll hear you and I'll get to it. But
did you hear about the rules at the debate? Do you know all the new rules?
No. What about it? Well, good. I'd love to hear that.
Okay. For the first time, there'll be commercial breaks now in the debate, so they want to make money.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a rule or not, but it's just something new.
All right.
And then they'll have muted microphones. When one person's speaking, the other person is muted.
That's to shut Trump up.
And then you can't have any notes. There's no bringing any notes with you, but I guess you can write notes as
that's gonna fuck Biden up right there.
And then there's no opening statements. It says instead each candidate will deliver a 2-minute closing statement.
All right, yeah. I see them going back and forth. Biden tells Trump, you're getting muted. Okay, well, bitch, you ain't going to have any notes. You're going to have to go by your memory. That's going to fuck Biden up. It's going to piss Trump off and fuck Biden up.
And it says the debate will begin with a question where the candidates each will get allotted 2 minutes to respond. There'll be visual cues like flashing red lights that will alert the candidates to wrap up.
I don't know which one that's going to fuck up more right there. Biden, he's probably not even going to be able to see it. You know, if he don't doze off while he's standing there, he's probably not even going to know. Somebody's going to have to say something or blow a little whistle or something at him. And then when they do that to Trump, he's probably going to get mad, you know, because he ain't done, but whatever. But
and then there's no live audience, so there'll be no crowd. Just John Tapper and Dana Bash, I think. Dana Bash and Jake Tapper.
Yeah, that right there is advantage Biden because a crowd would distract Biden, and, you know, he's all fucked up anyway. And so, and it's disadvantage Trump because Trump, you know, he's to the crowd, and Biden, you know, Biden don't want a crowd. That's probably Biden behind that. He don't want a crowd so they can see how fucking stupid he is. You know, and Trump wants a crowd so he can show them how stupid Biden is. And so, yeah, that's Biden, advantage Biden on that one.
So it's tonight, so too bad you can't watch it.
Oh, that's all right. Well, that's lovely. Okay, well, now let's get to this part, man.
Please, let's get to something entertaining.
I'm getting to something entertaining right now. And so who are you, I don't care whether you're for Trump or anything, let's see, wait a minute.
Oh, here we go. You sure you ain't had a drink?
Nope. I got too much shit written down here. I'm trying to pick which one I want to sit here and talk about. Let's see. So this would be the third time. This would be a third time now that I quit drinking. And both times lasted a year and a half. And both times I decided if I was going to do something like this and not drink, I might as well have a job where you can't drink, and that would be shrimping, because every time you go shrimping, you don't fucking drink. But
how long have you not had a drink? What are we at now? How many days?
A week ago, this last 2 Mondays ago.
So that'd be 14 days.
Ago.
About 15 days, maybe. We're maybe talking 15, 16 days, something like that, right?
Let's see, Monday to Monday is 7 days, and now this is Friday, so it's more like 11 or 12. Remember, I think I told you already 12 days would be tomorrow. That's like shrimping. Once you get past the 12th day, that's when your 12-pack runs out, and you have gotten ready to get, like sands through the hourglass. When your 12-pack is running out, when it's out, and there ain't no stores out there, and there ain't no TV, and you ain't got a cell phone signal, you ain't got shit. All you can do is fucking drink Cokes and Sprites and all that other shit.
Did you get the shakes or anything?
They did what?
Did you get the shakes, the quivers, the shits?
Not right now. Nope, I never do. You know, one time, just because people wanted me to go to one of these places where you go stay there, and they fucking, they in the morning you're at their place. It's kind of like a little mini hospital, some kind of shit. And in the morning, everybody lines up, and all these people are up there. They show me your hands. Their fucking hands are shaking. They give them fucking this pill, that pill, that pill. I went up there and show me your hands. My hands ain't shaking. They fucking look at me. You don't need anything? I said, need anything for what? I'm pretending I'm shrimping. When you're shrimping, you ain't got any fucking booze. My hands don't shake. I was there for 3 days, and I never needed one pill from them people. And they said, you know what? There's nothing we can do for you here. Why are you here? I don't know. Everybody on the radio up here thinks I'll come here, quit drinking. Well, whatever. You can quit drinking anywhere you want, but people here need help to quit. I don't need help to quit. I just pretend I went shrimping, just like I did this time.
So what do you plan? I know you should have some goals when you quit drinking. What do you plan on doing now? This is the third time you've stopped drinking. What are your goals?
And, that's funny you say that, because every time I do this, I think about all the shit that I have had and all the shit that I don't have and all the shit that I could have. And because of drinking, all that shit is gone. So it's kind of going to be like one little piece at a time. I got to start figuring out which, probably like, I might as well get my driver's license back so I can start running around. It's been now over 10 years. I ain't got any tickets, so it shouldn't be that hard to get that back. All I had to do was, pay a suspension fee and all that bullshit. But I'll probably start with just getting my fishing license, because there's a lake right over here that's within walking distance where there's some nice fishing there. And I start with my fishing license, go over there and go fishing, sit there and think about it for a little bit, and then work out my way back to my driver's license, and then work my way back to maybe I'll go head back out to California and see what it's like hunting gold out there, because when I used to hunt gold out there before, gold was $350 an ounce. Now it's close to $2,000. So that one little piece I found might have been worth about $100 before, but now it'd be worth $1,000. Or not that much, but at least $500.
How long did it take you to find $100 worth of gold?
I'll tell you what, it took, well, I did a little bit different than everybody else. No, and this is no kidding. I was with this old man. When you go down to the place, this town is called Clipper Mills. It's in the mountains of California by Nevada, the Sierra Nevada mountains. It's an old gold mining town. There's three of them outside of Marysville: Challenge, Clipper Mills, and LaPorte. I was in Clipper Mills with this old man, a friend of mine's grandfather, and we were hunting shit, but he brought me down to where they pan for gold, and it's up on the mountain where there used to be a hole dug in the mountain. They got them little carts. They go in there and they dig shit out, and then they wash it down the mountain, and as it goes down, they have the sifters and stuff that gets out. Well, over time, a lot of that shit never got caught, and it keeps on. Every time it rains, it washes down that mountain, and once it runs into this little lake that we were at now, where the little river runs into the lake, there's people camped on all sides, both sides, and that's where they are over there panning for gold. There's no room for anybody else. They've all got it all taken up. So he's showing me. We're walking around looking at them. They got some. This old man's got some. They got some. Yeah. But there's nowhere room for anybody else. Me and my smart ass, I said, I got an idea. Well, let's try something. We go get his little boat. We put it in the back of his Jeep, sideways in his Jeep. And I got a 5-gallon bucket, and I rode that boat out into the middle of that creek. I have no idea how deep the water is here. I'm in the middle. Then people are on that side of me, but it's about maybe 25 feet to 50 feet across this little creek. They're on that side, and they're on that side. So I row out into the middle of that thing right there, and I got this bucket, and I stick that bucket into the water. And goddamn, that water's cold against you. It was cold on my hands, but that's all right. I got me a plan. I'm going to try something. I jumped into the water, and the water was so cold, it took my breath away. I was going, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I told him, I said, Roy, this water's cold. He said, what are you doing? I said, watch this. And I pushed that bucket halfway down towards my feet. I took me a deep breath, and I dove down, and I'm trying to find the bottom with that bucket. And I get down, and the water's getting colder and colder. It's time for me to turn around. I'm not going to make it. Well, then the bucket hits the fucking dirt. And I just fucking grabbed me as much of that dirt as I could get, and it scooped it. And then I used my feet to push me back up, and I barely made it back to the top, and I was gasping for fucking air. So look, I put that bucket in that boat, and I swam that boat back to the boat ramp where I put it in the water. It wasn't that far away. And because I was too tired to get in the boat. So I got it back over there, and I took that bucket to that sand I had in there, and I didn't have one of them fancy pans like them people have, because you have to swirl the sand, and then the sand will move and the gold will stay. That's what you're trying to do when you're panning. You're moving the sand and the gold stays. Well, I didn't have one of them fancy pans, but what I did have was a hubcap on Roy's Jeep. It was an old Willie's Jeep, and it had one of them big hubcaps about the size of a dinner plate on it. I put that sand there, started swirling it, nothing. Then all of a sudden, swirl it, and all of a sudden, a piece about the size of a fucking pea shows up, but it's all cut off, jagged edges, all this shit. And I showed that to him. I said, look at this shit right here, Roy. This would go in that vial like that old man has right over there. He holds it up in his hands. He says, oh, shit, boy. That's not gold. That's fool's gold. And he threw it back out in the middle of the canal, in the middle of the little creek. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, come on, we got to fucking go. Dump that shit out. Let's go. And so we were just down there for a visit. So I told him, I said, you fucking throw my fucking gold. He said, it wasn't gold, it was fool's gold. I said, I don't give a fuck, man. It sure fooled me. So then I used to go back. Anyway. All right, Gentry, so I do know a place where I can go hunt gold. I went back there several times. This time I found a place on the shore to go. So I know where to go, and now I know to go up the hill if I ever want to go there. I'm not even going down that thing. I'm going up the hill when it's raining. So I know where to go. It's going to be fun to go try it. But that's my little goal.
I wanted to do a little sobriety test with you, if you don't mind, just to confirm.
Good. Good.
I know a lot of people think Mr. Windy not the brightest bulb you'd find, in the closet, but I got to tell you.
Sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yeah, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but when Mr. Wendy's sober, he's pretty sharp. So I know you're pretty good at history. You're like a history buff. I figured we could.
That was one of my favorite classes. That was who was responsible for WHOR, was our history teacher, Joe Kelly. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can find somebody like Deanna Clanton and get a hold of him and see if he's got any old recordings of my show when I was 17 years old in 1978. You weren't even around yet. What?
Well, it's now time to play Are You Smarter Than a Retard? We'll find out if Mr. Wendy is smart. And I've got some history questions here for you. And you're sober as well, so this is going to be great.
Who's the retard? Who's the retard?
Well, we'll find out. It could be you if you don't answer these questions. These are questions for like 10-year-olds.
Am I supposed to be smarter? Am I smarter than me? Really? How fucking stupid. Whatever.
All right, in which year did the Pilgrims land at Plymouth Rock? Do you know what year?
Oh, goddamn.
Do you need multiple choice?
Hey, I know Columbus was 1492, so they had to be after that. 1512.
Let's go and see if you're right here.
I don't care, Gentry.
It's 1620, actually, is the answer.
Whatever.
All right, let's try one more. This is an easier one. You should definitely get this one.
Oh, fuck you. I could ask you some shit. You won't know the answer.
In what year did the United States land the first man on the moon? That's a layup.
I think it was 69.
Let's see. Yes, you are right, Mr. Wendy. One for two so far. I'll ask you another one.
I'm going to ask you some questions, too.
Go ahead, ask me a question.
Go ahead, ask another one while I think of one for you. I don't want to waste my time, but I'll think of one for you.
Okay. Which president signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law? Big thing is the year 1964.
Listen, Gentry, you're doing Texas history right there, you know. So I know everything about Texas history, and that would be Lyndon Johnson.
Yes, Mr. Wendy again. 2 for 3, man. You are pretty smart.
Well, you're asking questions that I fucking just happen to know the answer to.
All right, this next one isn't history, but what planet is closest to the sun? Do you know
that's a goddamn. What you get? You goddamn mercury poisoning.
You say Mercury, and you are correct. Very nice.
Right.
That's beautiful. All right, I got another one. What is the value of the Roman numeral XV? That should be an easy one.
Yeah, that'd be 55. No.
Oh.
That's LB. No. Wait a minute.
XV.
I know. Right. X is 10 and V is 5, so 15.
Again, Mr. Wendy. You know, he's pretty sharp when he's not drinking, this guy.
Right. Good enough. But
all right, this will be the last one, and then you'll prove that you're pretty smart. What is the longest river in the United States? I know you've sailed all the seas, but which river is the longest in the United States?
In the United States?
Yes. What is the longest river in the United States?
Man, I think that's a trick question. I'll say Mississippi, but I think that's another one.
You're right, and it's only a 1 mile difference. There is one river that's 1 mile further than the Mississippi. You want to take a guess, second guess?
I would say the Red River, but then I would say the Colorado River.
It's the Missouri River. Is like
damn it! It's
one.
Right. See, both of them. Red River's right up there by Oklahoma. Okay, fine. Yep.
You're pretty smart though, Mr. Winnie. Nice work.
Oh, you're done.
That's it. I just have. I mean, I got another one if you want. What's the smallest prime number? That's like a math question.
3. Whatever. What is it?
Oh, you get so mad. Whatever when you get them wrong. You get all butthurt.
I ain't butthurt. What is it?
2. It's the smallest prime number.
Oh, my bad. I knew it was 1, 2, or 3. I just thought, which curtain do you want, you know? I'll take 3. Too bad I couldn't think of something to ask you, but I'm sure I could, you know, if I were, you know. I mean, I don't know. Let me ask you something about when you weren't not even around when you were born, you know, like, well, what what year did them helicopters take them people off of that roof when we left Vietnam? What year was that?
Well, had to be during Vietnam, so it would be one of those years.
Well, it's the end. That's where we were. The helicopters getting people off the top of the roof because we are out of there.
So Vietnam, I believe, happened in the 70s. So I'll just go,
Yeah.
how about right in the middle, 1975?
I think you're pretty close there, Gentry. I think it was 74 or 75.
Yeah, pretty smart, Mr. Windy.
Well, whatever. You just...
Nah, whatever. You're even whatever when I get it right. You can't be happy for me.
You're just making lucky guesses. I'm relying on my memory. You're just taking...
This was before I was born.
What?
That was before I was born, 1975.
Asking me shit about when I was 3 years old, and I knew the answer to that, so I guess that would be all right.
All right, well, it's been fun doing this sober show for you, you know. But I got to get the fuck out of here. Go ahead. What do you want to tell me? Go ahead.
Okay. You've been. I heard your a little bit of your other show you had on there, other than 3 people you got on there.
Yeah. What are the 3 people?
I guess one of them is a Hispanic, one of them is an African American, and the other one is Caucasian.
Yeah, a white, a black, and a brown guy walk in to do a podcast, and that's what you get. The Outcast podcast.
Well, I heard something about what I'm saying, World War III and stuff, and Trump's talking about he's going to end that thing in no time. Right, because he says they're going to make both sides come to the table, and they're going to draw the lines at the existing battle lines. That's perfect for Russia. That's all Russia wants. They want what they've taken, them 4 different regions right there. And
you trust Putin? What about that Kim Jong-un? Did you see the 2 of them were hanging out?
Who 2?
Putin and Kim Jong-un, I think is how you say his name.
Of course they are, but pretty soon you're going to see Putin hanging out with that Ayatollah or whoever's over there in Iran. He'll be over there hanging out with them. That's where he's getting all his dope from. Anyway, all right, well, if you got to go. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I got other stuff to do myself. I'll talk to you. I'll write me a bunch of more shit, too, for next time, too. So, go. I hate to be rude to you, but go on, get out of here. Go screw yourself. Go. What are you going to do, jump in your pool? Hey, is that all there is? There's 2 mangoes on that tree? Okay, good. See, that's how I do it now. I just wait. I just ask you a question. You don't answer. Then I know you're gone. And you can't sit there and tell me, what'd you hang up for? Well, because, motherfucker, I thought you hung up. And now this time I really think you hung up because I don't hear you. So, yeah, I would say, shit, no, I'm not going to say nothing mean. Why would I want to say something mean? I was going to say something there's somebody talking about. Pretty nice. Lovely. Hey, this is why you live in Michigan. 70 degrees is the high today. 70. 70 and 50s at night. Not 100 in the daytime. Yeah, you guys, oh, man, it's nice down here, 70 degrees in fucking January and February. Yeah, okay, we'll get you motherfuckers back in the summertime, and we're getting you back today, 70 here. Very nice. All right, man, you go fuck yourself, and I'll probably be hitting you up for this. Will be my 3rd show, and I ain't asked you for so much as a fucking nickel. So I'll be hitting you up next time I go down there and get me. God, that's an idea. Where I get that weed from, all them joints I was telling you about. And make a note of this. I'm still on the air. Make a note of this. I got to stop into Nature's Relief because where I go to pick up the money when you send it is that grocery store that's right next door. And that's cash. So I go pick up the cash that you send. Then I head right next door to Nature's Relief and get me 30 joints for $30 an ounce of weed for, if I get there early in the morning, $45 for like fucking 50 fucking joints worth of weed, and half of them already rolled. Are you shitting me? Okay, so in a couple of days here, I'll be popping you for some fucking coins. Send it the usual way, and don't fuck around. Don't start fucking around. If you think you're going to cause me to go back to drinking just so I can come down there and slap a pop knot on the top of your fucking head, big enough for the Marines to plant a flag on, don't make me do it, because I guarantee you when I get there, I ain't going to be happy. So I'll be talking to you soon, but I got to go. I got shit to do. Got coffee to drink. Then I got to switch to water and lime juice. And what else am I going to do today? I don't know. I'll think about it. Got to check baseball scores. Astros are doing good. catching back up, getting ready to catch them up and be back in first place where we belong. That's a good wait every day to watch baseball. All right, well, this will be the third time I tell you to go fuck yourself. So you go right ahead and go fuck yourself, and I'll talk to you again. But don't forget, I'm going to be hitting you up for a little bit of money one of these days. Okay, bye.